Let's move on. Our next speaker is Bethzaida. We don't need to introduce because it is her icebreaker. Bethzaida, 4 to 6 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters and our guest. Um, Here's the moment I was not waiting for, doing my icebreaker. Usually I don't have an issue speaking in public. I usually not shy. My only concern is when I know that I'm going to be evaluated or somebody's going to be observing me. And that's when I panic. So I spend the whole week thinking what I'm going to do. Typical me, procrastinator. At the last minute, I decide to sit down and write my speech and try to decide what I'm going to be talking about. I need to talk about myself, but my life always has been a work in progress. So I decided to talk about that. My life has always been a constant work in progress. So let's the church here begin. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I went to college because I wanted to become a therapist. I completed a degree in psychology. And when it was time for me to sign up for a master's, I realized I don't like to listen to people that much, especially when they're telling me problems. So here's a problem. But because my life is a work in progress, I say, okay, let's move on. I'm not going to be a therapist. Let's do something different. And I decided to move to Massachusetts. Everything was perfect. I planned every single detail, except for one. When I arrived in Massachusetts at the airport, I realized I don't speak English. What am I going to do now? So that was another task that I needed to take on hand. I learned English. I tried to find a job. I started doing sales. I struggled with the language until I finally got a little better and I moved on to a new project. My life has always been a constant progress, so I have to do something different. I decided to become a real estate person. I signed up for real estate agent classes. I took my license in Connecticut. I took it in Massachusetts. I was doing great. But suddenly, people were not buying houses. I was not selling houses, and there was no customers around. So this little thing happened like around 2008, 2009, and they told me that the market crashed. So I have to reinvent myself. I have to come up with something else. So here we go again, another work in progress. What I'm going to do next? I decided that this time I was going to find a job that is going to be something that I like. So I decided to become an adult babysitter. My boss calls it something different. They think that that's not an appropriate name. They like to call it human resources, but I don't think that name is fair. We spend the whole day just babysitting adults all day long, making sure that everybody's doing the correct work over there. So here I go again. I have a whole new project, a whole new career that I want to introduce myself and I wanted to learn about. I continue moving on. 2020 came in. I've been learning and trying to exceed and succeed in my profession, and the pandemic hits. So lately, I've been more of a nurse, checking with everybody with the COVID instead of doing HR. Now, 2021 arrived, and I finally decided I have to do something with my life. I have always been a constant work in progress. What is next? So I chose 2 new goals for this year. I wanted to eat healthy, and I wanted to be a better communicator. For eating healthy, I see you, don't judge. It's 3 months of the year, so I still got 9 months left. I'm working on it. I do pretty good Monday through Thursday. I eat healthy, I exercise, I go hiking. Comes Friday, you'll find me in a drive-through looking for something deep fried and smothered in chocolate. Saturdays and Sundays, I usually like to support my local business. I like to volunteer with the community, especially breweries and wineries. So that doesn't help my goal either. My second goal was to become a better communicator. That's the part that is more challenging for me. So to do that, I decided to join this club. They call it Toastmasters. The name is a little misleading because I haven't done a single toast and the meetings are pretty dry. So it's pretty cool club anyways. I attend the meetings like every 2 weeks, really nice people. I learn a lot every single meeting. I just love it. They even assigned me a mentor. So this is the first time in my life that I have a mentor. I was super excited. Everything went well. The only thing is that this guy does not listen. We met and he asked me, why you joined Toastmasters? And I say, well, I wanted to become a better communicator. And you know what he says? Fantastic. What is holding you back? I say, my fear of public speaking. When people are observing or they taking notations, I freaked out. I get terrified. And he says, let's schedule your first speech. Obviously, he was not listening. I'm glad that I didn't tell him that I am afraid of snakes. He probably would make me buy a boa or something like that. So I went along with the plan and I decided to schedule the first speech. My life has always been a work in progress. Everything has been constant change. So at this point, this is my new project, just to become a better communicator. I'm trying to move on past my fears and my terrifying moments of speaking in public and talking in front of others. I need to be less stressful and stop thinking that I'm terrified. And that's what I'm here. Hopefully you guys are going to be now part of my new project that you're going to help me to become a better leader, better communicator, a little more successful. And I'm really hoping and looking forward for you guys to give me your input and assist me with my next challenge for my life. So welcome to my next work in progress. And thank you all.
Thanks, Bethsaida. I don't treat it as a icebreaker speech. It is almost advanced speech. Good job. I let evaluator do that job.